Attention, Bears Nation! Things are heating up in Chicago, and it looks like we're on the brink of a move that could shake up the NFL. Picture one of Dallas' top defenders landing in our city to bolster the Bears' defensive line, a true heavyweight who could turn this season around. This potential $40 million signing might just be a game changer, but it's definitely a risky bet. Could this be the boost our defense needs heading into next season? Stay tuned, because it's getting good, and you won't want to miss a second of what's coming. And if you were wondering about our offense, get ready for a bombshell. Our star receiver just made some jaw-dropping comments, questioning the offensive scheme and raising some serious questions about the team's future. With an offense that can't seem to get off the ground and a lack of cohesion that can't be ignored, this could signal much deeper issues. Could someone on the coaching staff be on the hot seat? Stick around until the end to get all the details. But that's not all, because the clock is ticking, and the trade market might take an unexpected turn before the deadline. The Bengals are hunting for a running back, and one of ours could be on their radar. With time running out and an offer on the table, will the Bears take the risk of letting this player go right before the deadline? The tension is at its peak, and this move could alter the course for both teams. If you want to see how this all plays out, hit that subscribe button now and don't miss a thing. Who do we have here? None other than the Chicago Bears planning a game-changing move, a play that could alter the team's path heading into 2025. That's right, folks, let's talk about that hot rumor making waves across the league. The Bears could be going all out to sign a Cowboys superstar, DeMarcus Lawrence. Yeah, that name carries weight, experience, and 4 Pro Bowl appearances under his belt. But I gotta ask, is this really the move the Bears need to get back to the level of competition we dream of? Think about it. We're talking about a player with an impressive track record, but at the same time, he's approaching 33 years old. Is this a risk? I'd say yes, but it could be a calculated one. Lawrence has had injury issues, yet when he's healthy, he's the kind of guy who makes his presence felt on every play. Since 2022, he's racked up 13 sacks and 23 tackles for loss. Sure, he's got the talent, he's got the skills, but how much longer can we expect him to keep up that level? Is he really worth the $40 million he might command in a new contract? Now, Chicago's defense needs a high-impact player on the line. Montez Sweat is there, and he's a solid asset, but we still need a complement. Why? Because if you're investing in a young quarterback like Caleb Williams just starting his career, you want talent at every position. We need a defense that can close out games, deliver those clutch moments to secure the win. And while Lawrence could be that guy, the reality is that Chicago still faces one of the toughest schedules in the league. So here's my question. Is it worth betting on Lawrence when we could put that money towards other reinforcements or younger players? The Bears front office seems convinced that a strong defense is the key, but in my opinion, putting so much cash into a 33-year-old vet with an injury history might be more of a gamble than a benefit. With that said, I think the Bears are in an enviable position. They've got cap space and the chance to invest in their future. They could build a complete team instead of relying on individual stars, yet Lawrence remains a tempting option because of his ability to make an immediate impact. But is this what we want as fans? Do we want to see a team that builds for the future with patience and solid foundations, or a team that goes big now with a veteran hoping he's the spark we need? Here's what I'll say. It's no easy decision, and the Bears management has a big challenge. But I want to hear from you. Do you think DeMarcus Lawrence is the player we need to turn around the Bears defense? Or would you rather see that money invested in other young talent? Drop your thoughts below. What's going on with DJ Moore, Bears fans? That's a question we're all asking, and let me tell you, there's a lot more to unpack here. When your star receiver, one of the highest paid in the NFL, publicly questions the team's offensive scheme, trust me, that's not something to overlook. Sure, we could say it's normal to have issues when you're playing with a rookie quarterback like Caleb Williams. But how much of this lack of production really falls on him? Look, I'll say this, Matt Eberflus and Shane Waldron, our offensive leaders, need to be held accountable for a team that's drowning in ineffectiveness. We're talking about an offense that ranks among the bottom 5 in the league in total yards. Incredible! Even more shocking when you have a talent like Moore, who shined last year with over 1,300 yards and now seems to be struggling to find his rhythm. Is this on Williams, who's still adjusting to the NFL pace, or on Waldron, the offensive coordinator, who's failing to unlock the team's potential? I'm not so sure. DJ Moore, who in 2023 was the most reliable receiver on the team, has seen a performance drop this year that's impossible to ignore. After that embarrassing loss to the Cardinals, Moore couldn't hold back his frustration. And I get it. How can an NFL team, with all that money invested, be so predictable on offense? Because yes, Moore talked on the radio about going back to the drawing board and reorganizing the offensive scheme. But I ask you, how much longer are we going to wait to see those changes? We can't keep waiting and waiting when each week turns into a new disappointment. And to add insult to injury, DJ Moore was caught on video leaving the field before the play was over. You heard that right. Is that a sign of disinterest? A reaction to his frustration? Maybe it was precautionary due to a possible injury, but the image is still alarming. This is a guy making millions of dollars who should be committed to every play. It's his responsibility. I don't know about you, but seeing one of our key players walk off the field mid-play makes me wonder, are we losing control of this team? Now, let's talk about Waldron, the architect of our offense. An experienced man, yes, but his track record isn't yielding results in Chicago. His time in Seattle was successful, leading a top 5 offense. But here with the Bears, he seems trapped in a never-ending storm. Is he really the right guy to turn this team around? At this point, even Moore seems to doubt his leadership. How do you interpret that? Is it a sign that the locker room is fracturing? I'll tell you, folks, there's a lack of direction here, and it's time for some serious decisions. So, to those of you watching this video, I ask you directly, do you think DJ Moore is right to question the offense? Should we start calling for changes in the offensive coordination? Or do you believe we should just give Caleb Williams time and trust he'll find his way? Let me know in the comments because this is your chance to weigh in. Could Khalil Herbert be the trade piece that the Bears need to move forward? Let me tell you this, with the trade market closing tomorrow at 4 p.m., the chances of Herbert leaving Chicago and ending up on a team like the Bengals are very real. Yes, the Bengals. A team that, after a crushing victory over the Raiders, is still alive in the playoff hunt. But should the Bears really make this move? Now I ask you, is this the time to let go of a talent like Herbert? Look, there's something we can't ignore. Cincinnati just lost Zach Moss, their star running back, who is out indefinitely due to a neck injury. Without Moss, the Bengals are relying solely on Chase Brown, who had a monumental day with 27 carries and 120 yards. Sure, that's a solid performance. But how long do you think Brown can handle that workload week in and week out? Experts in Cincinnati are sounding the alarms, insisting that this isn't sustainable for an offense aiming for the playoffs. So, I ask you this, what are we waiting for to make that call? The Bears have Herbert sitting on the bench. He hasn't even been activated in the last 2 games. Are we really going to leave him in cold storage when he could bring in a draft pick for 2025? I believe that if there's a team willing to offer at least a 6th or 7th round pick, we should seriously consider it. But there's one detail we can't overlook. The Cowboys might also be interested. So, if we don't act quickly, we could lose the opportunity to make a trade that's truly worthwhile. And here's the interesting part. Are the Bears in a position to make such a calculated move? Or are we just talking about taking another step toward rebuilding? Let me tell you this, my friends, we need to think long-term. The Bengals are looking for depth in their roster for a playoff push. We need fresh picks to build a winning team. So, what's worth more to us? A running back who, to be honest, no longer fits into our game plan, or the chance to secure a pick and build from the ground up? Come on, Chicago fans! I want to hear your thoughts. Should the Bears give Herbert one last chance, or should they pull the trigger on that trade now? Attention, Bears fans! Your opinion is key in this community. Do you think DeMarcus Lawrence is really the player we need to take our defense to the next level? Or would you prefer to see that budget directed towards young, fresh talent? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's talk offense. DJ Moore has openly expressed his doubts, and that raises the question, do you agree with him that the offense needs a change of direction? We want to know if you also feel it's time to rethink our strategy. Finally, let's discuss Herbert. Does he deserve another shot, or is it time to seek a trade already? Share your thoughts, every opinion counts, and we'd love to hear what you think about the future of our team. Fans, this is your space, and we want you to be part of this family. Subscribe to the channel, join our community, and together let's embrace the passion of being a true bear. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video, and let's go all out, Bears Nation!